The exact moment women stop respecting a man. Most men think women lose respect because of one huge mistake: cheating, lying, failing financially, acting weak one time. But that's usually not how it happens. Respect normally disappears slowly, quietly, one behavior at a time. And by the time most men finally notice it, the attraction has already changed. The relationship already feels different. Her energy already feels colder. The excitement is gone. The patience is gone. The softness is gone. And the man is left confused, wondering, what changed? The truth is, women usually stop respecting a man when he slowly stops respecting himself. That's the real turning point, not one dramatic moment. Small emotional behaviors repeated over and over again. At the beginning, most men naturally feel attractive. Why? Because they're focused on their own life. They have goals, standards, confidence. Their mood is not controlled by one woman's attention. They feel relaxed, grounded. They're not trying too hard. And that energy feels attractive naturally. But once fear enters the relationship, everything starts changing. Fear changes behavior very fast. Fear of losing her. Fear of upsetting her. Fear of her losing interest. Fear of another man replacing him. Fear of being abandoned. And once a man starts operating from fear instead of confidence, women feel the difference almost immediately. Now he starts overthinking everything. One dry text ruins his mood. A delayed reply makes him anxious. Silence becomes painful. Distance makes him panic. And without realizing it, his emotions slowly become controlled by the relationship. That's where respect starts fading, because emotionally dependent behavior changes attraction quickly. A lot of men don't realize this, but women pay attention to emotional reactions more than words. A man can say, "I am confident," but if he panics every time energy changes, his actions tell a different story. And actions always reveal emotional truth. One of the exact moments respect begins disappearing is when a man becomes too afraid to lose the relationship, because fear makes men abandon themselves. Now he starts chasing too much, texting too much, explaining too much, apologizing too much, tolerating too much, all because he wants emotional certainty. He wants reassurance. He wants control over the relationship again. But the harder he tries to force security, the weaker his energy starts feeling emotionally. A man who was once calm now feels emotionally heavy. Everything becomes serious. Everything becomes emotional. Everything feels pressured. And pressure slowly destroys attraction, because attraction needs emotional freedom to breathe. Another huge moment women lose respect is when a man starts accepting behavior he normally would never accept. Disrespect, coldness, mixed signals, lack of effort, manipulation, emotional games. And instead of standing firm, he tolerates it because he's scared of losing her. That changes everything, because people notice what you allow, especially in relationships. A man who accepts disrespect out of fear slowly communicates, "I don't believe I can lose you and still be okay." And that emotional fear changes how women see him. Because confidence is not just talking confidently. Confidence is also what you refuse to tolerate. A lot of men think, if I love her harder, she'll respect me more. But love without self-respect often turns into emotional weakness. Now the relationship becomes one-sided emotionally. One person is chasing, the other person is pulling away. And that imbalance slowly kills attraction. Another mistake men make is losing themselves completely inside the relationship. At first, they have balance. They focus on work, fitness, goals, purpose, growth, friendships. But after becoming emotionally attached, everything starts revolving around her. Now his mood depends on her replies. His happiness depends on her attention. His confidence depends on her validation. And once a man's entire emotional world depends on one woman, his energy changes completely. Women usually respect men who can love deeply without losing themselves. That's the difference. Not toxic men, not cold men, not emotionless men, grounded men, men who stay emotionally steady no matter what's happening around them. That kind of emotional control feels rare today. Another exact moment respect starts fading is during emotional pressure. Arguments, distance, misunderstandings, silence, disagreements. These moments reveal emotional strength very quickly because pressure exposes insecurity fast. Some men completely lose emotional control when things stop feeling easy. Now they beg, panic, overreact, chase constantly, become emotionally unstable. And once a woman starts feeling like she has control over a man's emotional state, respect usually drops. Not because she's evil, but because emotional dependence changes attraction naturally. Women are naturally drawn to emotional strength. Not fake toughness, not acting cold, real emotional strength. The ability to stay calm when emotions get uncomfortable. That's rare, very rare. Another thing that quietly destroys respect is over-explaining. This is something many men do without realizing it. The more insecure a man becomes, the more he explains every little thing. Why he said something, why he acted a certain way, why he's upset, why he's worried. Trying to fix every misunderstanding immediately. Trying to make sure she never pulls away. But confident men usually don't move with that much emotional panic. They stay calm, and calmness feels powerful. Women also lose respect when a man has no boundaries. When he accepts everything just to avoid conflict. When he's afraid to say no, afraid to walk away, afraid to upset her, because boundaries communicate self-respect. And self-respect affects attraction deeply. One of the saddest things is that many men slowly abandon their own identity, trying to keep a relationship alive. They stop being the man she was originally attracted to. They stop leading themselves. They stop growing. Stop focusing on purpose. Stop focusing on discipline. Now, the relationship becomes their whole emotional identity. And that pressure slowly pushes attraction away. A woman never wants to feel like she is carrying a man emotionally. That changes the dynamic completely, because now she feels responsible for his confidence, his mood, his peace, his emotional stability. And that emotional weight slowly kills attraction over time. The men who keep long-term respect usually move differently emotionally. They don't panic easily. They don't chase every emotional shift. They don't lose themselves because of temporary distance. They stay grounded, focused, emotionally steady, even when emotions become uncomfortable. That doesn't mean they don't care. It means they don't abandon themselves emotionally just because things get difficult. And that difference matters a lot. A lot of attraction comes from emotional stability. Women notice how you react under pressure, how you handle silence, how you respond to distance, how you behave during uncertainty, whether you stay calm or emotionally collapse. These moments shape attraction more than most men realize. At the end of the day, women usually stop respecting a man when fear becomes stronger than self-respect. That's the real turning point. When he starts chasing validation, begging for reassurance, tolerating disrespect, losing boundaries, abandoning his standards, and emotionally depending on the relationship for his confidence. Everything about his energy changes, and women feel that change quickly. The hardest part is that respect rarely disappears overnight. It fades slowly, one emotional reaction at a time, one desperate moment at a time, one weak boundary at a time, one needy behavior at a time, until eventually the attraction no longer feels the same. The men who maintain respect long-term are usually not the loudest men, not the richest men, not the most aggressive men. They're usually the men who stay emotionally strong under pressure. Men who can love deeply without becoming desperate. Men who stay calm without becoming cold. Men who keep their standards without becoming controlling. Men who never abandon themselves emotionally just to keep someone around. And that kind of emotional strength is extremely hard to replace. Follow for more if you want to understand women better.